Hey, Tony Gasson here, popping in with a little video. Now listen, I seen a post about the young man who was sentenced to 160 years. And this man would go online and he would meet women online and he would lure these women, talk to them, have dates with them, and he would kill them. And one of the young ladies got away. And women was saying that this guy would be considered handsome. And that's the thing, what made me do this video is this is what I'm trying to get women to understand. It's not online dating that is flawed. It's not that there is something wrong with online dating. This the one thing that women are not understanding. It is the type of man that will online date. I don't know how much more clear I could say that. But every single video I do on online dating, there are still a plethora of women. Well, it's not online dating that's the problem. There's nothing wrong with online dating. It's discretion. It's women not having discretion. You can meet the same type of man in person that you meet online. That's what women keep saying, and that's why women keep being killed. Because you do not understand that no, you're not meeting the same type of man in person that you're meeting online. Because guess what? The type of man that will kill you, he's not going to meet you, he's not going to approach you in person today, in this day and age. Ted Bundy age, it was different. He didn't have online dating. I guarantee you, Ted Bundy and every other one of these men, they would have been online if there was online dating. If that was the thing, if it was popular and that's what was going on. But today, the predatory men, they are going online. And the reason why is because they have bad intentions. Because when you go online as a man, you get to hide. Because see, the eyes don't lie. The eyes don't lie. When you look, if I approach you in person and I'm looking at you, if I reach to shake your hand, I'm going to have sweaty palms if I got bad intentions. My hand may be shaking. My eyes may be glassy. My demeanor may be kind of a little too stoic. And you may feel my energy on this first meeting. A first impression lasts a long time. So on this first meeting, you may feel my energy is toxic and I'm hiding something and I'm not really letting my guards down and opening all the way up or being completely free because I know he knows what he wants to do to you. And I'm going to switch it from me just so y'all don't get that confused now. But I'm telling you that I fully understand this because as a man, you got to remember, in every man, there's a duality. There's a lion and a lamb. One gentleman in the comments just said a beast and a king in every single man. So every man understands what this man thought in his head and what he wanted to do. And so when you are a man and you have pain in your life and you want to prey on women, you are going to go online, not in person. Because think about this. Think about this now. Think about this. I got to watch my time because I got to get going. So I may have to pick up my phone and walk and leave. But hopefully I'll be done. Think about that. I got to get a haircut. See, I'm looking rough. If you are a man And women may not be able to fully grasp this because the things that a man's mind can conceive and think about, some will never cross a woman's mind, some of the things. But if you are a man and you can and you have convinced yourself that you are going to lie to a woman, seduce a woman, promise her her dreams that she has waited for decades in order to get her to drop her guards and to trust you so that you can clean out her entire savings, her entire retirement account, her entire 401k. And you are going to lie and deceive and manipulate, and you're going to pretend to be a tech millionaire with the next biggest thing, a financial advisor, and a state attorney. And this woman trusts you and believes you. You talk to her the way she has dreamt of being talked to by a man. And you are going to get her to wire you money, telling her that you have a major emergency or you have a major investment or you're going to invest it for her because you've made millions on the market. You show her fake screenshots of your fake accounts that showing that you've made millions. She drops her guard. At this point, it's like she's not even, it's not like she's doing something dumb. At this point, it's like, who wouldn't do this if this man was real? But see, what the man knows is that one layer of discretion, one layer of wisdom, one layer of precaution, a wall layer, whatever you will call it, is already gone because she got online. That lets the man know that if you got online, no one of value or substance or that you are interested in is approaching you in person. So what does that mean? It means that you are feeling a sense of loneliness, or it's not all of these, but it's one of, you are feeling a sense of, for those of y'all who you want to feel special online, you're feeling a sense of adventure. We'll give you that since you don't want to be desperate. Or you feeling a sense of desperation, or you feeling a sense of frustration. Wherever you are operating from that told you to do online dating as a woman is the wrong place to be operating from. Because guess what? I was talking to my wife about this, who is a wife of going on 15 years. And we were talking about the online dating. She showed me the post about the man. I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't heard about it. My wife saw it. She showed it to me. She said, I would never in a million years do online dating. She was like, I'd rather die single before I get online to meet a man. And the reason why she said that, and she said, because when you meet somebody in person, you could at least feel his energy. You could feel his energy. You could look him in the eyes. Even looking at the shoes he got on, you could read him. You could feel him. But when you talk to a man online, he could hide behind a mask. And this is what you got to understand. See, with these men, it's a lot of, these men that get online, it's a lot of social anxiety. It's a lot of insecurity. It's a lot of pain. It's a lot of anger. A normal man does not do online dating. And I apologize to my friends and mentees and guys I know who have done online dating. But if they are real with themselves, in that moment, they were operating from a place of weakness. The good men who got online, They were operating from a place of weakness, or they were operating from a place of convenience, or a place of greed, or a place of laziness, a place of fear, a place of insecurity, because they didn't want the stress, the tension, the worry that comes with having the courage to approach a woman. And it makes it so much easier to message a woman behind a keyboard. It makes it so much easier to get on an app where the woman has to approach you first. The woman got to send a message to you. The woman got to let you know, is that the one app, Dumble, where the woman got to let you know. That makes it so much easier. It takes off so much of that you have to have as a man to approach a woman. And see, I'm telling y'all this with the sake of women who refuse to listen, going off in the comments, because I'm trying to save lives here. Listen, yes, a man can meet you in person and do the same thing. But why do you think that man did not do that in person? Do you get where I'm going? Can you pick up what I'm putting down? Why do you think he did not approach these women at Target? Because his energy would have shown that he's a murderer. His energy would have shown that he has that in him. And so a lot of these men who do meet a woman in person, guess what? And see, a lady, she said the other day, she said, Tony, let's remember, not all men are crazy. We do have some normal men. And I said to her, I said what I said, because she missed what I'm saying. I was talking about the white guy who went on the road trip with the girlfriend, and the girlfriend turned up dead. And I was talking about the maintenance man who went into the apartment of the young lady, and the young lady turned up dead. And then he killed himself, which this gentleman who on the run still, he may take his own life too at some point, but or get ate by a bear because he out in the woods. But I said that to say that's every man. That man that went on that road trip, look at that man. You're not gonna look at that man and feel like something wrong. He looked like the guy who work on your computer when you go to Best Buy. He looked like the guy that you partner with in lab to cheat off his paper. He looked like the guy that you befriend because his parents go hunting and camping and you want that experience. Nothing about that man says to you, oh, he look crazy. Oh, he crazy. I'm a man. I read men. And this is what I try to tell women. What those men did, the man you sleeping with can do that. I can do that. Do I need to insert myself here to normalize this for y'all? To help y'all understand that this is men. This men. Listen to what I'm telling you. This is men. This ain't crazy men. This ain't deranged men. Do you realize them men right there that we know of took one life? Took one life. Do you know you could be sleeping with a man who have taken several lives? Do you understand that? What I'm trying to tell you is every man is a killer. Every man. What do you think the army does? What do you think the army does? Do you think the army is going to Afghanistan, Iraq, and shaking hands? Okay, who is the army made up of? Everyday people. The army is not made up of crazy, deranged people that when you look at them, you're like, whoa, you're crazy. It's made up of everyday people. Some of y'all was in the army. Some of y'all was armed. Some of y'all was deployed in another country, and your mission was to take lives of somebody who ain't never done nothing to you. Listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all. You have to be aware of every man you meet. This man has to be surrendered to the way and the will of God. You got to feel like when this man talked to you for an extended period of time, you need to feel an anointing. It need to lead you into a state that make you feel like praying with him, because he feels so pure. And these men exist now. These men exist. And guess what? Now he might not be all the way there. He may have something to where, like for me, I'm the type of guy, I might not want to shower every day. Because if I ain't go out the house, I'm like, man, I don't feel dirty. Like, I'm not finna be, I don't want no ashy skin, and I don't want my skin to be dried out, and I don't feel like lotioning right now. Like, that's me being completely transparent with y'all. Because y'all think, oh, that's nasty. Oh, that's nasty. I don't feel like showering every day. I'm the type of man, I take my drawers off, my underwears off, and I'll leave them on the floor. I'm that type of man. And I have to remember, oh, Tony, pick your drawers up, boy. And that's because my mom really wasn't that strict on me. When I grew up, my parents and my mama family that I was around, my grandma and them, they weren't really hygienic. We was ghetto, we was hood. And so when I was little, I used to go in the bathroom and we'll run the water, and we'll sit in there and we'll sit outside the tub, and we'll stick our hand in the tub and we'll do like this to the water. And we would not get in the tub. If it's any women on here that done raised a son, and some daughters, because my female cousins used to do that. Not just my male cousin, my female cousin used to do that too. And my cousin, I remember she got her butt toe up. My grandma happened to look in that bathroom, and she was sitting outside the tub, running her hand through the water. Now see, it was grosser for a woman, because a woman has insides. A woman has insides that urine comes out of. And so it's different. See, a man, what we got down there is just like an arm. It's just like an arm swinging. It's like a baby arm. And so it's surface level. It's not we can't get inside of our thing to do nothing in there. So when we wash, it's just like if you wash your hand. Well, see, a woman is internal. So it is different. We try to make it the same, but it is different. And so that's why women who are virgins feel like they could remain a virgin, but put that thing in their mouth of a man. It's women who brag that they have only did oral. And I'm like, that's worse. That is more degrading. Men do that with prostitute. A man really don't even want a wife to be in that position on her knee looking up to him like that. Until he just really like all the way in love with her, and like he reciprocating for her, or he initiating for her, and she wanna be that for him because of he's that for her. But that's actually a degrading, submission, disrespectful position. As men, what men would do is, if they didn't want to sleep with a woman because they felt like she was gross, they would do oral. They would let her do oral. So the prostitute, the people like that, that's who men would let do oral, and they would not give their body, insert their body into them. See, a lot of women don't even know that. And they round there on their knees doing that, but then hollering about they're a virgin. Or hollering about, well, I didn't do anything but the oral. What? That's the worst thing you could have did. Because at least intercourse, that means the man want you too. You see what I'm saying? See, it's so much about this that women do not know or understand about men. That every single man knows, but I'm the only one that's gonna tell it all. Now it's gonna be some men out here that's gonna give y'all a little game. They're gonna give you 80%, 90%, gonna teach you what to look for, 3 things, this, 5 things, that. But tell it all, I'm gonna be the only one. Because this take a different level of a calling. This take a different level of guts. This take a different level of transparency. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. This the most painful thing in the world. Every single day, Lord, can you give me another calling? Lord, can you give me another calling? Lord, can I be a tech millionaire? Lord, can I be a salesman? Lord, is there anything else that you could bless my hands at other than exposing the dark side of men to help women? Lord, this is so painful because I have to expose myself in order to help a woman. I got to expose myself. And if I don't expose myself, then a woman will continue to see me as an exception to the rule, exception to the rule, exception to the rule. And she'll keep thinking, and she won't realize that I'm that too. But I've been renewed by Christ. I'm that too. These men you see on the news, I'm that too. But I've been renewed by Christ. It's only a renewal from your creator that makes you a different man. If a man holler about he agnostic, he atheist, he that. He is still very 100% capable of doing what those men did that you see in these headlines right now. He very capable. You have to be renewed, mind, body, and spirit, to be washed and to be cleansed. And this is what I'm trying to help you understand. So understand this. When a woman gets online, she is letting the man know that she's in a state of desperation. Even if she says she's not desperate, she just doing this because it makes it easier. She get to meet more people. She live in a small city. She very busy. Whatever excuse you giving yourself, you are telling this man you are prey. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's a difference in walking by a lion's den and walking into a lion's den. Did you hear what I just said? See, when you meet a man at Target, when he approaches you at Target, you are not in the lion's den. So this is strange to you. This is alarming to you that this guy just approached you. So you are on alarm. You paying attention. You look at his shoes. You look at his jeans. You look at his shirt. You look at his teeth. You look at his smile. You look at his fingernails. You look at his hairline. You look at his eyes. You look at his mustache. You look at his skin. The quality of his skin. Is he dry and ashy? Is he flaking? Is his fingernails long and dirty? Is his shoes dirty? Okay, everything checks out. You feel his energy. You a woman. Does he feel like Christian Grey? Does he feel like 50 Shades? Does he feel, is you starting to feel something in your body because his chemistry, his energy is so strong that scares you because you like, why do I feel like undressing myself with this man here shooting his shot? This man got a spirit on him. This man got a seducing spirit on him. You're going to feel that. You're going to feel giddy. You're going to feel nervous if he got a spirit on him. You can't feel none of that if you meet a man online. Let me calm down. And y'all got to forgive me. See, you got to understand, I put my heart and soul into this. Like, I really do this. Like, this really mattered to me. Regardless of money and all of that right there, this matters to me. Now, I can't just give my time away because I got a wife and kids to feed. So I wouldn't be a man to be on here trying to help you and you don't even want to listen. and turn off the advertisements which could help feed my wife and my children. So understand that it's a duality in this. Just because you see an advertisement don't mean I don't care. What it means is that I'm giving you my time and I cannot get this time back. And every hour of information that I give you, that's 1 hour closer to my grave. That's 1 hour that I did not give my wife. So don't listen to the devil in the comments. If you really cared, you wouldn't be charging for coaching sessions. You wouldn't be charging for coaches. For courses. You wouldn't be having advertisements on your YouTube if you really cared. That is Satan from the pit of hell, who don't understand what the Bible say about do not muzzle the mouth of the ox who treads the field, and that a workman is worth his wages and double if he is faithful. And that's what that right there is Satan, who try to put a guilt trip on people who working for the Lord, as if you work for the Lord, you supposed to be broke, busted, and disgusted because you doing everything for free. Now now I put that in there to set every servant free. Although you are a servant, you are not a slave. Slaves don't get paid. Servants still get paid. And when I mean servant, who bring your food to you, who clean the houses, the janitor, they still get paid, although they serve. Do you know it's waiters and it's bartenders who make more money than lawyers because they serving? Did you see that rapper just give that server $2,000? Do you know how many people with a degree will never make $2,000 in a day that waitress made? And she literally could have dropped out of high school. She is a server. That is servanthood. So I want you to understand, what do Jesus say? The greatest among you is the servant. So a lot of times when people look and they see somebody like me who blessed, they think that it got to be a scam because you blessed. I ain't doing nothing. If I work, I just coach for an hour. I'm doing this right here for about an hour. And what's the day? And my work is done today. That's 2 hours of work. So everything you have me, that you see me with, that has to be the blessing of God. It has to be the blessing of God, because my heart is pure, my heart is aligned, and I cannot take credit for my success. It is 100% God. So let me tell you, when I am here, the reason why I get a little riled up is because I have a righteous indignation, because every single moment that I'm giving to you right now, a woman is being killed. Right now, a woman is being killed at the hands of a man. Right now. And her life is being taken right now from a man she met online. Do you know that the young lady whose life was lost, Gabby Petito, that she from New York or Massachusetts or something up north, my wife told me, and the boy from Florida. So if she from up there and he from Florida, do we know how they met online? Does it say how they met? Do we know that? Because now, did they meet online? I don't know now. I don't know. It could have been in college. Okay, they were high school sweethearts. It say right here, according to this. They were high school sweethearts. You better be glad. And see, listen now. Listen. High school sweethearts. That right there. If he didn't meet her online, which they young, so we don't know if they was on Tinder, but in high school. But if he didn't meet her online, that right there shows you that what he did, that's in every man. That's in your daughter who's in high school. That's in her boyfriend. That's in her boyfriend, because it's an action. It's a momentary thing. It's just like this. The same way a soldier can go to another country and take the life of somebody that ain't never did nothing to him. What do you think he can do to somebody that he's in spiritual warfare with, and he does not understand spiritual warfare? So he lashes out in the physical, trying to kill a spirit. See, when a person take their own life, They're not trying to, they're not trying to kill themselves. They're trying to kill something in them. They are trying to crucify their pain. They're trying to crucify their depression. They're trying to crucify the spirit. That's why the Holy Bible, which I tell y'all you need to read, tells you that we wrestle not in flesh and blood, but in spirits, in principalities. What do the scriptures say? We wrestle not against flesh and blood. That means physical, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. See, listen, when you get online, you wrestling against a spirit of loneliness, of desperation, of frustration, of adventure. That's what you're doing. When that man get online with the intention to lure, deceive, and kill, he's wrestling against a spirit. And his physical exertion of that spirit is to take the life of someone else. And in that moment, the release he has from his brain and everything he forgets and everything he's numb to and everything he cannot feel, it gives him a high, just like snorting a line of cocaine, and that is fleeting. So this young lady's life is gone. And for a moment, he felt like he crucified the demon in him. But then a week later, he feels the same. So now he needs another. See, what spiritual principalities do is use the human physical body to destroy earth. Because God is a spirit. So what the spirit is doing right now through the man in the dark. See, when you have spiritual eyes, and see, this is what the Bible tell you about. This is what the Bible tell you, Lord. This is what the Bible tell you about spiritual vision and carnal vision. See, when Satan was kicked onto earth, he was given dominion of earth. I see Christians who don't read their Bible say God have dominion over earth. No, dominion over earth was given to Satan. That's why Jesus said, I'm about to leave you and turn this world back over to him who owns it. He talking about Satan. So that's why there is more evil and secular programming on your television than sacred, righteous, holy programming. That's why the righteous programming is perverted. And when you go on there, all they do is ask you for donations. Do you hear me? This is a realm of spiritual wickedness and darkness and principalities that we live in. That's why the man in the Bible, I believe it was Apostle Paul, who said we are in the world, but not of the world. See, if dominion was given to the righteous, then we would not have pain. If dominion was given to the righteous, then we would be of the world. But it says we are in the world, but not of the world, because of the world is wicked. So this is what you have to understand, is there is spiritual principalities moving about us, and the physical being that is the strongest is the male. If you are a woman, how long will it take me as an average size man? How many women will I have to go through in an arm wrestle before I lose? The woman that can beat me in an arm wrestle will have to be an Olympic weightlifter who has trained and built her muscles. My natural strength as a man will defeat hundreds of millions of women in an arm wrestle. The physically stronger being is the man. So guess what? That is why wicked spirits attack the man, because he has the physicality to destroy earth. When you look at a Marvel movie, it is good versus evil. It is the Holy Bible being brought to life. It is Satan entering the being of weak, broken, not physically weak, mentally weak, spiritually weak, broken men, and sometimes women, to destroy the earth. Look at these cartoons. Look at these Marvel movies. In every movie, what are the people trying to do? The evil people. They're trying to destroy the universe. And you ask yourself, what is the point of destroying the universe? Like, why do you want no one to exist on the planet? Like, what do you get out of that? Like, what is bothering you so much about a human living on earth and getting married and raising kids and having a blast? Like, why do you, the world is mine and I'm about to destroy the world on all of these movies? And it's like, what sense does that make? Now, let me ask you, do you ask yourself the same question when you see the stupid stuff, the evil stuff that men do? You say to yourself, what sense does that make? Why do you approach a woman in person or online, make her fall in love with you, get her pregnant, and then leave her to raise the child alone? What sense does that make? It's spiritual destruction of the human race. He's operating from a spirit that comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So the goal is to create fatherless homes. And he is a vessel, and because he is not spiritually rooted in God, he does not understand he is being used. And because darkness has, what does it say? Spiritual wickedness in high places. Why does it say high places? These high places, a theologian could tell you what they think it means, but I'm going to tell you spiritually what this right here means. Spiritually, what this means, this spiritual wickedness in high places, that's your television network. That's your record label. Do you hear what I'm saying? That's those who are in power. That's your president. That's your king. That's your prime minister. That's your CEO. See, the spiritual wickedness in high places, they have control, and that's what the goal is. In high places, that's the head of a household. In high places. That's a school teacher over the lives of these kids. Just seen a woman, school teacher, sleeping with a student. And then you'll see the men sleeping with the student, a voyeur on the student. Come on now, listen to me. Listen to me. This thing go way deeper than I'm going. But see, I'm talking to a lot of people. Some of you, but you ain't got to flex your spiritual muscle in the comments. I might turn the comments off. I'm turning the comments off on there. Because this ain't about your ego. This ain't about you showing how deep you are, how spiritual you are. This ain't about you patting me on the back. This ain't about you beating men up. This ain't about... And I got to turn the comments off because one demon will disrupt everything. And I only could put this on YouTube because if I put this video on Facebook, I can't turn the comments off. and it's too long and it turned sideways for Instagram, so it don't really work. Now listen to me. This is the same reason the spiritual wickedness in high places, because it can destroy. And the goal of the adversary is to destroy. So although this video started with the type of men that get online, yes, you got to understand that the same thing could happen with a man who meet you in person, but a man who get online, he going there specifically for that. So let me go back to the example I was giving you. It's a difference between walking past a lion's den and going in a lion's den. When a man meets you in Target, because that's what a young lady used in the comments. Oh, the same kind of man can meet you in Target as he can meet you online. No, it's not. When a man meets you in Target, if he a lion, you going to see it. There's a lion not supposed to be in Target. You're not supposed to be in Target. All the hell on you walking on four legs. You get what I'm saying? Proverbially. Okay, metaphorically. This is what I'm speaking. Understand what I'm telling you. You're going to be able to see the spirit on him in person. But now guess what? Well, Tony, what if you don't see no spirit? Like the young lady who met the man in high school. That's why I tell y'all, stop letting your kids date. Because they not spiritually inclined. They don't know what love is. They don't know what a relationship is. My son is not coming home with no girlfriend until he is an adult. Until I have pounded him in the head with the word, with the lessons, with the wisdom, until he know inside and out what a spirit look like, what a Jezebel spirit is, what a Delilah spirit is, until he understand what the adversary comes to do. And he knows that the adversary comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And when he knows that full well, now, son, you can go find your wife. Because you gonna know what a wife look like. And that woman who's showing all her booty, who twerking online, who doing all of this stuff for attention and attention seeking and doing all that, she got a spirit on her. She operating from a spirit. And it don't have to be a destructive spirit. It could be a spirit of loneliness. It could be a spirit of low self-esteem. It could be a spirit of insecurity. It ain't got to be a bad thing, but she got a spirit on her. And he gonna know what it looked like. Absolutely, son, you not coming home. Absolutely not. You not dating in high school because you don't know what you're doing. You don't even know yourself yet as a man. We shouldn't be allowed to date until the age of 25 because we turned over to a reprobate mind because of all of the technology we have access to. But see, people don't want to hear this. People don't want to hear this. Because see, we live in a society that we want convenience. We want everything to be convenient. We want everything to work in our favor. We want everything to be for us. We want everything to, I got to get going. We want everything to feed our ego. We want everything. So that's why women are fighting for online dating, because they get to meet more men. And it's depressing if you are a woman ready for marriage and you going to the grocery store every week and you not meeting no man. Y'all got to forgive me. I got to change clothes. And you going to the grocery store and you not meeting no man. That get depressing after a while. You punching your pillow. You mad with the Lord. Lord, why? Why am I not meeting this right here, what I'm praying for, what I'm asking for? Why is it not happening for me? And so you say, well, let me get online. And you know what? A lot of times when I see, y'all got to forgive me. I'm still a little under the weather. A lot of times when I see a woman get online, sometimes it's nothing wrong with that woman, but she just being lazy. She don't want to get out the house and go to the mall and join a local meetup group. She don't want to do none of that. She just want a man to knock on her inbox. Just knock on her inbox. She done worked on her body. She done worked on her brain. She done worked on everything, and she just being lazy. She just getting impatient and she want a smorgasbord. Let's be real with this thing now. It ain't just men want a smorgasbord of women. It's sometimes women want a smorgasbord. And when I'm saying smorgasbord, I don't know how to spell it, don't know what it is, don't know what it means, but it sounds like a buffet. She want a buffet of men. And so let's be honest about this thing now. So sometimes it's the woman want her buffet of men. And so she's sitting there and she need her buffet. So she say, okay, I need some athletic black shoes. Right there got pink on it. And right there kind of look a little boy-boyish. Oh, these right here might hit. And so she want it easy. She want it easy because it's easy. Well, Tony, online dating gives me options. I get to meet more men. You know, it's a little easier and I just could easily vet them. I just could listen to read his message, read into his message. If he's not the one, it's like, okay, boom, I'm done, moving on. But it's like, if I meet a man in person, I got to talk to him so long. I got to deal with this and that. You know, he could be not the one and all of this. And it's just, I can't find y'all got to forgive me. I'm going in my old luggage from my last trip that I still ain't put up. Looking for me some. I don't know where my wife laundry at. And so she want this smorgasbord. And guess what? This is what I try to tell y'all. Men and women are not the same. So the reason that a woman want a buffet of men is totally different than the reason a man wants a buffet of women. Is totally different. Because guess what? If you a man and you a killer, if you a rapist, if you an abuser, if you a scammer, oh, I'm overlooking socks right here. If you a scammer, see, when you a man and you all of that there, guess what? When you get online, you literally as a man could meet 70 women in a day. You can meet 70 women in a day. And when you meet these women, you get to see. And see, men know how to read women because men are hunters. Men are warriors. So men know how to read women. So what a man is able to do is the man is able to take and say, okay, this woman is, and this will be a little painful for y'all, but I want you to understand this because I'm giving you the whole game and I'm telling you, my goal is to separate myself from everybody that y'all put my name in a sentence with. God made one. God made one of me. God made one of me. And the game I'm going to give you, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. I don't know where my wife put that key at. And so, listen to me now. This man going to look at you. And he going to say, okay. He's going to say, okay. Oh, there you go. He going to say, okay. Her nose is bigger than average. So she don't get to meet a lot of men because her nose bigger than her body. And so she get overlooked. This what he's saying now. This ain't me talking, okay? He gonna say, okay, she got a little more weight on her than she wanna have. So because she got more weight on her than she wanna have, she insecure. Because her nose is a little wider than she wanted to be, she insecure. Because she black
She's insecure because she has been marginalized. She has been alienated. She was bullied in middle school for her lips, for her nose, for her complexion, for her hair texture. She has pain, she has scars, she has wounds. Or it could be, and that could be black meaning dark skin, that could be black meaning light skin, because it's both that go, everybody have their own set of trauma, but a man could look at that and say, okay, she looks very pretty. So she's been a victim of men since she was 3 years old, since she was 8 years old. She's been violated. She's been broken. Her innocence has been taken. See, a man could look at a woman and tell her whole story from the introverted, socially awkward, social anxiety having man to the extroverted, overly confident, exuberant man. From both ends of the spectrum, a man can read a woman and knows what her insecurities are. And this is what you got to know and understand. This is what you got to realize. So hear me when I'm telling you this now. Hear me when I'm telling you this. And so this is the thing. The type of man, when you get online to date, when you get on online dating, you're going into the lion's den. Every man on the online dating is a lion. Every man on there is a lion. The men on there, they have already a negative view of women, a controlling, domineering view of women. Just how just how someone who is racist can be in a relationship. Someone who is racist can be in a relationship with someone of a different race. Like, there are white women who are married to black men but still are prejudiced against black people. But because that black man is putting a pole on her, he is an exception to her. There are white men in relationships with black women but still will discriminate against me as a black man. And the same goes for Asian, Hispanic, black. There are black men who are in a relationship with a white woman who actually hate white people. So understand what I'm telling you is a man can be nice to you. A man can meet you in person too and online and be nice to you and still take your life, still abuse you, still do you dirty. And so this is why you have to have standards. This is why you got to have standards. This is why you have to have boundaries. This is why you have to have policy and procedure, not just on your job, but in your life. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. So what you have to do is, here's the thing. You minimize your risk by not dating online. Yes, the same men that you meet in person can do the same thing that the men can do that you meet online. But when you go online, there is a 90% chance, not 90. There is a 99% chance that you are about to get done dirty. Done absolutely disgusting. The other thing is, when you meet somebody in person, there's a 30 to 50% chance that you're going to get done dirty. You see what I'm saying? If a lion comes outside of the den and is at target, he can still eat you. But because he's outside of his comfort zone, he's flustered and he's confused, he's deranged, and he may just mind his business because of social anxiety. But if you go into a lion's den, he is comfortable. That's where he was born. That's where he was bred, in the darkness. That's where he lives. That's his domain. That's where he eats. If you get online to date with the intention of dating on an online dating site, dating app, and yes, social media is not far behind it, but it is nowhere near the same, because it is much different when a man goes behind a paywall, meaning he's paying a monthly subscription for a dating site. That's a totally different thing than being on Instagram for free. That is totally different. It is totally different being online dating where you have a headshot, where all you can have, where the minute you could just put up a headshot on online dating, but on Instagram, you got to have pictures. Facebook, you got to have pictures. You could view this man 10, 15, 20 times over looking at his pictures. You don't get to do all of that on a dating app if he don't want you to. I've never been on a dating app, so I don't know how many pictures y'all can upload on there, but I know somebody could just upload a headshot. And so listen to me. And now one lady, let me address this. One lady said, well, I don't understand what Tony's talking about, because when I got online, it wasn't that active. The men were like quiet. They didn't say nothing. Sister, listen. Sister, listen. Some of these dating sites that you getting on, you probably got on a cheap one, they have, it's fake accounts. That's why I feel quiet, because it's fake accounts. And so it's fake men. It ain't even real men. And they'll make them fake accounts just to boost their numbers for their investors. The other reason why it could be quiet is because it's too much competition. You actually gonna have less competition in person. Because see, when you step out in person, online, he can't see nothing but a headshot. So he gonna go for, if he's a scammer, he gonna go for the worst of the worst. See, you right in the middle. You're not unattractive. You're not unattractive, but you also not the best looking thing that God has created. So a scammer and a dog, a man who got bad intentions online, he going for the best of the best, meaning to have a baby with her and leave her, or to just sleep with her because he thinks she look that good, or he going for the worst of the worst, the ones who he sees the most insecurity in, so that he could scam her, use her, manipulate her, get his green card, get an investment, get his citizenship, whatever it is. That's what you got to understand. The women that I meet, that I'm coaching a lot of times today, in this day and age, their worst experiences and their terrible relationship is come from online. And that's what I need y'all to understand. So listen, for one, understand this, and let me clarify this. Understand that every single man is capable of ending you. Ending you. I ain't using the real word. Every single man. Every man. Every man. Let me stop. Let me have y'all stop. Tony, that's not every man. Every man. This is what I was trying to help y'all understand the other day when I pointed out to you the men that you see do these mass things in the school and in the community. These men don't look like Big Bad Wolf. They look like your everyday next door man. That's why I'm trying to help y'all understand that that's every man. Myself, as a sane man who worked for the Lord. And see, this is the thing. This is why counselors and therapists don't know as much as they think they know. Because the books that they read, and no offense to y'all, but let me school you on something. The books that you read, your books can't do what I'm doing. Your book's not gonna come to life and tell you what I'm telling you. The only thing you have on a study is what somebody tell you. The only thing we understand about a serial killer is what he's willing to admit when he in prison. If he has the ability to even articulate what he was feeling, what he was thinking, and what he was doing. So what I'm here to tell you is that when somebody who's willing to be transparent to let you know, because they understand their own thoughts and they see the level that they operate at and the God that they serve and the life that they live, then it is clear and evident that if I can see the possibility and the reality of a man like myself taking the life of another human being, then I know, based on the way I live my life and how pure and conscious and how dedicated to my wife and my kids, I know that if I could feel these feelings, if I could think these thoughts, then I know every man is capable of it. But see, one thing is not every man is capable of telling the truth. Not every man is willing to tell the truth. Not every man is willing to... Hold on, let me see something. Oh, I messed that up. What I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see if I can... Oh, here you go. I was turning off my little screen behind my phone just so it ain't picking up no radioactivity and messing up the phone. Every single man, and see, this is how you understand the mind. When you see the level you operate at and what you do and how you live and you know you pure. See, I just want to try to tell y'all, I don't masturbate. I don't watch pornography. I don't cheat on my wife. I don't curse. I don't get drunk. I don't get high. I don't gamble. So if I know what my mind is capable of, that helped me understand that every other mind that is not as focused, not as dedicated, not as diligent, not as prayed up, not as spiritual, not as grounded, will be tempted or go through the same things. And if a person is not renewed, and speaking for men specifically, because I'm not a woman, so I don't know a woman's mind. You see what I mean? And so this is the thing. And being with my wife and seeing the way she live and the way she operate, seeing how she move and what she capable of in every area of life, it lets me know, okay, if this woman is capable of these things and she is this classy, what does that tell me a woman who is not this classy is capable of? See, on the human spectrum, every human has the capability to be good or to be evil. It depends on what spirit, what principalities in high places is being fed. So if I am surrendering to and giving myself to a pure, good, righteous spirit, then that is the action that I'm going to show in the world. If I am giving myself to an evil spirit, evil inclination, evil thoughts, evil feelings, then that is the actions that I'm going to show in the world. So this is what you have to understand. The further a man is from his creator, the more dangerous he becomes. And although there are people who are with atheists and they say, oh, everything's fine, he really cool and calm, he really cool and calm, he may actually be closer to the creator than he realizes, and he just doesn't call it the creator. He doesn't call it God. He may be more spiritually rooted and grounded than a devout man, than a man of faith, not devout, but than a man who claims a faith. And he just does not label it that because he has control of his own dictionary. And so he get to label his grounding what he want to label it. So if he call it atheist, that's what he call it. If he truly indeed is cool, calm, collected, gentle, and pure, or he could be a ticking time bomb. Understand that. See, a lot of times you just ain't seen what's to come. Because this don't, see, you see what this man who was just sentenced to 160 years, which that is much better than the death penalty. So he got to sit there and feel it and think it for the rest of his natural life. You see, he didn't do this at 8 years old. He didn't do this at 15. I don't know how old he is. He don't look 18. You see what I'm saying? So just because your man is calm now, just because he gentle now, don't mean he ain't a ticking iron if he is far from his creator, from God. Because see, that's where you renew, because you got to understand, we were not created by a spontaneous combustion like the world want to tell us. There's no possible way that something can explode in the air and create the complexity of a human being. When you study the complexity of a human being, when you study the complexity of the billions of species of creatures on this earth, it ain't no possible way that we don't have a creator. But this creator is not a man or a woman, it's a spirit. That's why it say we wrestle against spiritual wickedness, principalities, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Because these are high places, meaning that these are this spirit is heightened, this spirit on another level. And that's why humans get caught up in semantics, not understanding that words cannot bring definition to a spirit. So when I see Christians get caught up arguing with other Christians over the word vibration, over the word energy, that's what the adversary wants us to do, to get stuck in the weeds, arguing out of conceit over semantics, over words that cannot define or describe or fully articulate the spiritual realm that we operate in. So that's why the Bible says you have to serve God in spirit and in truth. It did not say in letter or in diction or in articulation or in comprehension of the written word, because the word has to be translated into several languages. So that is why it tells you that you have to serve in spirit and in truth, because we come from a spirit and we have a spirit within us that is constantly, daily at warfare, good versus evil. And everything that you consume in your spirit comes to kill or to give life. So the creators of fried chicken are operating from a spirit that comes to kill. And that's why that's why Popeyes is in the hood and not in the expensive neighborhood. Because those who live in an expensive neighborhood have received more education, and they have taken an anatomy class and a biology class, and they understand what grease and what salt does to the body. But those with an elementary education, or those who graduated high school but did not take biology or anatomy and do not understand what happens with grease and salt in excess does in the body, they eat for pleasure and they kill themselves by what they consume, because the spirit behind the machine is focused on profit. So the owner of Popeyes does not eat Popeyes. He sell it to those that he does not care about killing, and it makes his pocket rich. See, understand what I'm telling you. I don't even know what the title is to get everybody to understand that this is a message that God trying to get us to hear, and I'm just a vessel. This ain't even coming from me. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I ain't got no notepad. I ain't even never said this stuff before in this way. This ain't nothing but God. And that's what I'm trying to help you realize and understand. Because if it was me, I'm trying to help a carnal mind understand the spiritual realm, which is futile and maybe useless. But if this was me, every 35-year-old man will be saying the same thing. If this was me. If this was education, I would have a bachelor's degree. I don't have a bachelor's degree. Not a master's, not a doctorate. If this was education, what I'm telling you, but what I'm telling you is going to set you up for success on earth. Although you passing through and this is temporary, it still does not mean you should live an existence of misery and pain. And so what you have to understand, and this is what I understand, but understanding and doing is two different things. Understanding and doing is two different things. So we willingly, in a lot of cases, we willingly kill ourselves by what we eat, what we put into our body, and what we do with our body. Every time you lie down in fornication, sex outside of marriage with someone, you willingly killing yourself. Because you can catch a disease, or you could become a single parent. You willingly destroying your life every time you lie down in fornication. Every time you eat something that does not give life to the body, you willingly killing yourself. And see, we willingly do that, including myself. Y'all were craving Popeye's chicken yesterday. Yesterday. Do you hear me? And you know why? Because the devil know that he can't tempt me. It's a woman sent me a video of her bare naked vagina on Instagram, and I did not respond. Told my wife about it, told my daddy about it as accountability partners, to put it out there just to make sure, to put a hedge of protection around me and a fence up so that I have accountability, people who know what the devil is doing. We go to one another, because when two come together in prayer, we could set a lot more free. And so listen to me. The devil knows he could send me a naked woman, and I'm going to beat that. But you know what's going to tempt me more than a naked woman? Popeye fried chicken. A strawberry lemonade. Or Arnold Palmer full of sugar. A bowl of them noodles. A bowl of them noodles that is probably cancer in a bowl. That's what'll tempt me more, because I was raised eating bad. I was raised eating fast food. So that will be my drug that I have to overcome, that I got to beat every day. That's more tempting to me now than a naked woman, than a beautiful woman with a perfect body. To God be my witness, because I see beautiful women with a perfect body every day. And I'm able to overcome that right there. But what I struggle with is having me something sweet to drink, or me some flavorful to eat. Because eating raw vegetables is not flavorful if you was not raised like that. Not eating meat and living a vegan lifestyle is not easy if you was raised eating fried chicken, fried pork chop, and red velvet cake. It ain't easy. And that's why the comments off, because I don't want to hear all y'all mouth about y'all diet plans and meal plans and all of that. I might leave the comments on. No, I ain't. I'm turning the comments off, because you know what the comments on? If I know I'm speaking truth, it's a remnant of people who know I'm speaking truth. And they'll come in the comments, Tony, this a word. God using you, amen, congratulations, bless you. If you want to send that, you can send it through an email. Because you in the comments is for your ego, and me in the comments is for my ego. Let's remove ego from the message. Let's remove ego. So listen to me. Now I'm in traffic, and y'all got to forgive me. I'm going to get a haircut, and I'm still under the weather. But I'm talking because this right here a lesson. I'm talking this right here a lesson. And I need you to understand something. Oh, this is what I meant to say. This is what I left off of. The man in the dark. The man in the dark. And I saw a video recently. He done come to the light. He was sitting in the light. Cause somebody probably done sent him my video. And this is what we got to do. When you see a video like this, there's a share button on it. If you got Instagram, you could DM a video to any man that's pushing a message, that's pushing a narrative that is of Satan, that is destroying society, that is not helping society. You could send him this video, and he gonna watch it, and he gonna be at this point and welcome my brother. And I want you to hear me out, my brother. I am not against you because you are my brother. I'm against the spirit within you. I'm against the spirit that you are allowing to use you for fame and for money. And I'm here to tell you that I know that I earn more money than you. And that I have been as viral as you. My Facebook page was reaching 20 million people a week. That's 80 million people a month. That's nearly 1 billion people, 1 billion impressions a year. I know what it feels like to be viral. For the men who, if you in the MGTOW movement, you in the red pill movement, you in the whatever high value man movement, the high value man is making women feel like low value because we misdescribing high value. High value is character, not currency. It's character, not currency. High value men cater to their woman because he knows that God has created her as the weaker vessel according to the word of God. And what I mean by weaker vessel does not mean she's dumb, does not mean she's incapable. It means that we are placed in a position to protect her and to provide for her. That's what a high value man is. That's what a high value man does. A high value man does not keep score. A high value man does not go tit for tat. A high value man does not require that a woman do before he does. A high value man leads by example. What I mean is he shows love. He caters. He submits. He surrenders. And what I mean by submit and surrender, because you're going to get lost right there, is I mean to his call from his creator to protect and to provide. But protection and provision does not mean just physical protection or monetary provision. It means protecting her mind by not manipulating and deceiving her or controlling her. Protecting her heart by not cheating on her with another woman or a man, because I know some men go both ways. Not cheating on her with a woman or a man or a pornography or a dog or a cat, because I know it's men into different things. A horse or a cow, I know it's men into different things. The Bible talk about this bestiality. And so I need you to understand that. That's what a high value man is. A high value man is so much of a man. He'll put a woman on his back and say, rest your legs. And when he is tired, he'll motivate her. Hey, keep your core tight. I know you're on my back. Keep your core tight. Keep your posture right. Don't get weak. Even though I'm carrying you, don't get weak. And stretch your legs. Stretch your legs so your blood will flow. Don't leave your leg in one position too long. When he tired, he motivating her. And then guess what this woman's gonna do? But see, a lot of men don't get to understand this here love because they never do this, because they don't understand what it means to be high value. So they don't get to understand this. So listen to me. When you get to this here point of loving this woman, everything that's broken in her will be mended. Every void will be filled. Everything in her that's been wrong will be right. Trust me when I tell you, when you love her without condition, when you love her without keeping score, when you love her without manipulation, without deception, without control, God created her for love. The sole purpose of the creation of a woman was to love a man. God did not create woman and say, hey, go build a company. God did not create woman and say, hey, go conquer land. God created a woman and say, you are a helpmeet to this man. She is influential. She is supportive. She is nurturing. And see, this the thing. She's powerful. And that's why the adversary can use her. That's why he wants to use her. And see, this the thing. We will have women attacking other women. We'll have women leading other women astray. We'll have women with Delilah spirits, with Jezebel spirits, with 1 million subscribers on YouTube, teaching women how to seduce men through quote unquote femininity. Femininity does not mean seduction. But we'll have women teaching that because they've been turned over to the same spirit that some men have been turned over. And so understand this to the men and to those women. I don't wrestle against you. I'm wrestling against the spirit that's in you. The spirit that you operating from. And I want you to get to the root of that spirit. And see, in that spirit that you operating from, it's a spirit of either. It may be and or it may just be or. To the women that I see, it's a spirit of perversion from abuse. It's a spirit of low self-esteem from abuse. And when I say abuse, I'm speaking of any form of abuse: physical, social, verbal, emotional, financial. It rips the heart out of these women. A lot of these women who are leading other women astray to be temptresses, to be seductionaires, to woo a man through quote unquote femininity. These women are doing this from their brokenness. They're doing this from their pain. They're doing this because they were taken advantage of. They were raped. They were molested. They were abused. Or they were lied to. They were lied on. They were cheated on. They were beat on. They were abandoned by their father. They went through something traumatic. They went through something painful. And then they realized and they told themselves, this is the world and this is men and this is what life is. So if I don't adapt to the game and learn how to play this game at the highest level, I will be devoured. So they use what's between their legs to their advantage, to seduce men who are weak. And these men then give them their money and give them their faithfulness in some cases, give them their heart. And this woman now has control. See, it's a spectrum. Proverbs 31 is the other end of the spectrum of Jezebel. When you read the story of Jezebel in the Bible, she did the same exact thing that Proverbs 31 woman did. But Proverbs 31 woman did it with a pure and righteous spirit. And she was metaphorical. This was a woman that a mother was describing to her son, is the way that I understood it. And I could be wrong, but this was like the wife that you should desire. But Jezebel did the same thing for Ahab. she went and had a man killed to conquer his land and then to get her husband to get the land that he wanted. The husband did not do like David and put Uriah on the front line of battle to be murdered so that he could have Bathsheba. See, Ahab said, I want this land, but the man won't give it to me. He living. He told me he'll never give me that land in a million years. Then Jezebel say, okay, well, let's have this here creed, this deed or this here declaration written so that he got to be killed. So then she had him killed, and then she said, go get your land. The woman in Proverbs 31, she went and secured land. She went and brokered deals. Do you see what I'm saying? Inside of the women operating from a Jezebel spirit is also a Proverbs 31 woman. But it's spiritual warfare, so she is warring in her spirit, and she's feeding the Jezebel instead of the Proverbs 31. Y'all got to forgive me. I'm still under the weather. But see, tomorrow is not promised, so the message got to go forth today. People say, Tony, rest. No, I can't rest because tomorrow ain't promised. And this message going to save 1 million people before it's done. It might not reach 1 million this year. Might not reach 1 million next year. But this message still going to be going. This 2021. Somebody watching this message right now in 2050. And it's saving their life. This the work of God. Somebody said, well, God rested on the 7th day. He created the world. I'm shooting a video. Don't compare me to God. I ain't doing what God did. Sit down, devil. See, the devil will speak through a saint. Because, see, that's what I try to help y'all understand. There's a duality inside of every human. There is a battle of good and evil. And every word that come out your mouth, my next sentence can come from evil. And then the following sentence after that can come from good. It depends on where I'm speaking from. Now, let me speak to the man. To the men that's pushing this narrative. That's destroying the fabric of society. That's turning men against women. And that's making men and women compete. And that's making men feel like a prize that needs to be won, that needs to be worshiped, that needs to be idolized. To those men, let me speak to you. There's something that happened to you in your life. You were either, and it may not be all of this, but it was one of these things. You were either abandoned by a parent. You were abused by a loved one. Or you were bullied in school, abused in school, or you were taken advantage of by a woman, or taken advantage of by a man. You get where I'm going with this. You were hurt, you were lied to, you were lied on, you were used and abused, you were disrespected, you were talked down to. There was something that happened in your life that maybe you could be confused with your sexuality. Maybe you could feel like you are attracted to a man, but you are not allowed by society standards to be in a relationship with a man. So therefore, it sends you into a place of pain, a place of anger, a place of frustration. And you need to take that pain out on somebody. But see, everything that I mentioned, and even the things I left out, you get where I'm coming from. You get where I'm going. And so listen to me. Listen to me. It's pain. It's unaddressed pain that has not been addressed, that has not been healed, that the work has not been done. So because of the pain you feel, you want a woman to feel that pain, or you want a man to feel that pain, and you use your words to tear down instead of to build up. And you speak from pain. Even when you say that you are doing good and that you say that you have a goal, you speaking from pain. And because you feel disadvantage, you seek an advantage. So although you may say you're trying to help families and you're trying to help marriages, inadvertently, unconsciously, you are seeking an advantage. So that is why your message gives an advantage to the man and a disadvantage to the woman. That is why your message puts the woman as the one who has to prove herself to the man, who has to prove that she's worthy, that she brings something to the table. Because you want the man to have the advantage. And that all the woman is good for is to be used for the folly or the fantasy of a man. And this is what we have to understand, that this is where you're operating from. And what I'm asking you is that you confront yourself if you're able. If you confront yourself if you're able, confront yourself and see where you're operating from. Recognize where you're operating from and stop operating. Pray for deliverance. Pray for forgiveness. Pray for understanding. Pray for peace. Pray for healing. And reach out to me. Reach out to me. I'm not against you. I'm for you, but I'm for your victory. I'm for your salvation. I'm for your win. This ain't about religion. This about relationship. This about relationship. Hey, this Tony Gaskin, the spirit just left the room. I just reached my destination and I see it's exactly an hour and a half. God bless you.